Welcome to True Higher Self. My name is Kelly, and it's my pleasure to welcome you into the podcast this week. We have another great reading from Unveiling is the Secret by one of my most favorite authors and New Thought gurus, which of course is Neville Goddard. We read every portion of Unveiling is the Secret on this channel, and I would suggest to you to make sure that you listen to them in succession. This particular reading is chapter 1. It is law and its attraction. So if you are interested in understanding Neville's perspective on the law of attraction, this is the beginning of that. And one of the things that I most admire and most love is chapter 2, which is sleep. If you want to be empowered, if you want to understand how to cultivate your subconscious mind and how to implant and impregnate your subconscious mind, it is so critical, so important that you listen to this particular work. Unveiling is the Secret. If anyone was to ask me, where do I begin to understand Neville Goddard and his work and his perspective, his paradigm, I would strongly suggest Unveiling is the Secret. So let's begin with chapter 1, law and its attraction. The world and all within it is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all you desire in life. Armed with a working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream, which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. In order to intellectually and intelligently operate the law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between these two, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is personal, and the conscious is selective. The subconscious is impersonal, and it is non-selective. The consciousness is the realm of effect, and the subconscious is the realm of cause. These two aspects are the male and the female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is male, the subconscious is female. The conscious generates ideas, and it impresses these ideas on the female, the subconscious. The subconscious receives it. It receives these ideas, and it gives form and expression to them. By this law, first conceiving an idea and then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious, all things evolve out of the conscious. And without this sequence, there is not anything made that is made. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but it does accept as true those ideas which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself objectifies the accepted ideas. Therefore, through the power to imagine and feel and his freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, man has control over his own creations. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through the control of your ideas and of your feelings. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or the womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction. It contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and on this assumption proceeds to give it expression. The creative process by which the subconscious proceeds to express itself. The creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling, ends in volition to the act. Ideas are expressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once it is felt, and felt, be it good or bad or indifferent, it must be expressed. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious mind. I'll say that again. Feelings are the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious mind. Therefore, the man who does not control his feelings may easily impress the subconscious mind with undesirable states. By control of feelings is not meant restraint or suppression of your feelings, but rather the disciplining of self to imagine and entertain only such feelings as contributes to your happiness. Control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. Never entertain an undesirable feeling, nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or in any form. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or of others. To do so is to impress the subconscious mind with these particular limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto another. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, it must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. I am happy is a stronger feeling than I will be happy. To feel I will be is to confess that I am not. I am is stronger than I am not. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, realize the wish must be felt as a state that is rather than a state that is not. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. Be careful of your moods and your feelings, for there's an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Your body is an emotional filter, and it bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease, and disease in both body and environment. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or the feeling of failure, for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Think feelings only of the state you desire to realize. Feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on the conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious. That is to say, control of your ideas and of your feelings. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is it predestined fate, the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective, it is impersonal and no respecter of persons. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or the falsity of your feelings. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Feeling is the assent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel is true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of pattern. The subconscious never fails to express that which he has impressed upon it. The moment it receives an impression, it begins to work out the ways of its expression. It accepts the feeling impressed upon it, your feelings, as a fact and existing within itself, and immediately sets about to produce it in the outer or the objective world, the exact likeness of that feeling. The subconscious never alters that acceptable state, that accepted beliefs of man. It outpictures them to the last detail, whether or not they're beneficial. It doesn't matter. To impress the subconscious with the desirable state, you must assume the feeling that would be yours. Have you already realized your wish? In defining your objective, you must be concerned only with the objective itself. The manner of expression or the difficulties involved are not to be considered by you. Think feelingly only on the state that impresses the subconscious. What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? If you dwell on difficulties, barriers, or delays, the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, accepts the feelings of difficulties, accepts the feelings of obstacles as your request, and it proceeds to produce them in your outer world. The subconscious is the womb of creation. It is the female. It receives the idea upon itself and unto itself, therefore, and through the feelings of man. It never changes the idea it receives. It can't argue, it can't debate, it can't push back, but it always gives it form. Hence, the subconscious outpictures the idea in the image and likeness of the feeling received. To feel a state as hopeless or impossible is to impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. Although the subconscious faithfully serves man, it must not be inferred that the relation is that of a servant to a master, as was anciently conceived. The ancient prophets called it the slave and servant of man. St. Paul personified it as a woman and said the woman should be subject to man in everything. The subconscious does serve man and faithfully gives form to his feelings. However, the subconscious has a distinct distaste for compulsion and responds to persuasion rather than to command. Consequently, it resembles the beloved wife more than the servant. The husband is head of the wife. This is Ephesians 5. May not be true of man and woman in their earthly relation, but it is true of the conscious and the subconscious, or the male and female aspects of consciousness. The mystery, which Paul referred when he wrote, "This is a great mystery. He that loveth his wife loveth himself, and they two shall be one flesh," is simply the mystery of consciousness. Consciousness is really one and undivided, but for creation's sake, it appears to be divided into two. The conscious or male aspect truly is the head and dominates the subconscious or female aspect. However, this relationship and this leadership is not that of the tyrant, but that of a lover. So by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective, the subconscious is moved to build the exact likeness of your assumption. Your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality. For only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through the subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. It is easier to ascribe your feelings to events in the world than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feelings. However, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. As within, so without. A man can receive nothing unless it is given him from heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. It is impossible for you to see other than the contents of your consciousness. Your world in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. Objective states bear witness of subconscious impressions. It's a change of impression results in a change of expression. A subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true. And because creation is a result of subconscious impressions, you, by your feelings, you determine creation. You're already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe that this is the only reason is why you don't see it. To seek on the outside for that which you do not feel you are is to seek in vain. For we never find that which we want, we find only that which we are. In short, you express and you have only that which you are conscious of being or of possessing. To him that hath, it is given. Denying the evidence of the senses and appropriating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the way to realization of your desire. Mastery of self-control of your thoughts and feelings is your highest achievement. Mastery of your self-control of your thoughts and feelings is your highest achievement. However, until perfect self-control is attained, so that in spite of appearances, you feel all that you want to feel, use sleep and use prayer to aid you in realizing your desired states. These are the gateways, the two gateways into the subconscious. Guys, I hope that has really lit a fire under you to want to listen to the next chapter, which is chapter 2, Sleep. This is very powerful. Neville Goddard had a very unique and profound way of looking at law of attraction, understanding the subconscious mind, and practical and systematic and very easily intuitive and understandable ways of approaching programming and suggestions to your subconscious mind. And again, which I would say, I would hearken unto these words. Go ahead now and listen to our next chapter, which is Sleep, and gain the instructions there. Thank you guys for listening, and continue, if you're not already done so, please continue to listen to things to True Higher Self. It is our pleasure to bring this content to you today. Thank you for subscribing.